Beans!
Hi, and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to show you how to make a CSGO server where you can add your friends in. I'm going to try to do it in 4 steps. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta go to Steam and get the CMD. So you just Google search SteamCMD. Take the top thing here. I'll also link to it if you don't want to. When we're doing Windows, this is a Windows-based server. Download SteamCMD for Windows. I'm just gonna put it out here for now. Then you gotta make 2 folders. The first folder, you can call it SteamCMD. And the second folder, you just call it CSGO server. CSGO server. Yeah. Once you have these 2 folders here, we're gonna put them in a root folder somewhere. So we just go down here into the drive where you want to place your server, where you want it to be sitting. I have a drive here that I want to use for it. If you want to place it on your C drive, you can do that, or anywhere else. I'm going to put it in here. This is also where all my games are installed already. So I'm going to take the 2 folders, I'm going to move them into here. And now they're there, we're going to start taking this SteamCMD. We download it, and we're going to move it into the we're going to move it into the SteamCMD folder over here. And then we're just going to extract all the file in here. So that's the SteamCMD. We can delete the other file, and then going to run it, and it's going to download and install the CMD. Okay, so now it's done. It's downloaded all the SteamCMD files. We can download the server content, and the server content is the stuff we're going to put in. I'm just going to delete these 2 folders, they're not there right now. So the Steam server content is the stuff that's in the other file here called CSGO server. So this is the file we want to have, the folder we want to put it in. So we go in here, click up in the browsing menu here, or the address, Control C, copy the address, go into the CMD window here, and we're going to type in login and moose. Let's see if it works. We're logged in, that's all good. And then we're going to tell it where it's going to install the server files now. And we wanted to put all the server files into the folder that we called CSGO server over here. So we do that by saying force underscore install underscore dir for directory, space, and then the path where you want it installed. And we copy pasted before, so now we can press Control V and paste in the path for the server. Press enter, and now it's going to put it there once we start it. So the next thing we're going to do is type app underscore update 740 validate. Just check here and enter. And so now it's going to start downloading all the server content, and that might take a while. for now we can continue with some other stuff while it's downloading. So a thing you're gonna need to run a server with SteamCMD is you need a token from Steam. And the way to get your token is to go into Google and search Steam token. Will probably be the top thing popping up here. Okay, now we'll just do English. Okay, so here you can see how the page looks like. And there's some requirements to your account for you to get a token. So make sure you fulfill those first. I already have a token here, but the way you get it is you need to put in the app ID of the base game. And here the base game is CSGO, so that app ID for CSGO is 730. So you put in 730 here. Otherwise you give it a name here, you can type it anything. I just called it CSGO last time, but you could just call it test or anything you want and press create. Let's see if it works. Test, if I can make 2. I could. Okay, so now I have 2. I'm going to use this one, so I'm just going to delete this one. Delete. And then we're going to need to make some text documents. You see it's still downloading. And depending on your connection, it's going to take longer or shorter time. Last time it took me a while. Anyway, you need to make some text documents. You just go on the desktop here, right click, say new, text document, and you call it server. I already have one. And up here, I'm just going to delete this one and jump into this server file here. This here, I'll pass this or leave it in the description so you can just copy paste it. It's going to be under titled server CFG or something like that. And in here, this is all the information you need to copy paste into this document here. And host name is the name of your server that you're going to make. You can call it anything. So you just put in the name of your server, whatever that is. Just replace the hashtag. Archon password is the administrative password to change stuff in the server while playing. You have to set that. SV password is the password for people to join in into your server. And then here you need to set your Steam account. The token you just got before needs to be passed in here. So just replace all the hashtags and then you should be good to go. Save here, save as. This one is to share with you guys. Share, save, perfect. I'm just gonna open this up again. So now I have the one I want to make here with my information in. I'm gonna say save as. So save it as a text file so you can go back and edit into it if you need to. Once you have that, you've got to save it again. Go to all files and save it as a CFG type. So delete text and put in CFG. Save. Then you have your CFG file. We'll just place it next to the other one. And then you're going to have to make a another file called we're just going to call this .competitive. Same procedure as before. You need to make this document yourself. Text document, and this is the information you need to copy paste in here. It's also going to be in the description for you to copy paste. And down here you need to add in your Steam token. This needs to be replaced by your Steam token. So I'm just going to go into my place here, get my token, Control copy, Control paste, Control V, save, and I'm going to save it, save, and and then I'm gonna see save as, and this time we're also gonna save all files, but then we're gonna make it into a BAT file, .bat. Oh. Start competitive.bat. This is gonna start a competitive server, so just so we know what it makes. Save. And then we have the bat file here. We're going to put that next to this one. And because it's a different one, if you want to make an arms race map or an arms race server or something, you'll need to create a different one to start that up for you automatically. And there's probably other ones. You could just find text for this type on the internet somewhere else. I'll just make this one as well. Let's see here. Save file, save as. So now I saved it as a text document, but I'm going to save it again as a .bat file. .bat, save, and close. All right. So now we have the 3 files. We only need 2 of them, but we have the 3 files here and the text document, so we can go back and edit in this file here if we needed to. Let's see how it's going with the download. It's still downloading. And we're done. So now you can see here that it's successfully installed. And these numbers here sort of let you know how far you are in the process, 97%, 98.8%. So you can sort of have an idea of how far you are. I'm just going to exit SteamCMD, and then I actually want to rename the SteamCMD folder just to make it easier to find for future preferences. CMD server. There we go. And also, when you name the CSGO server folder, remember not to make any spaces or any funky things up in there. It just makes it easier for you when you have to fill in the path for the other one. Now we have the server sort of ready to go. We just gotta put the start.bat files into the CSGO server folder. So we go into here, and in here, we're just gonna close it down, minimize it. We're gonna take these start.bat files. It's going to start up the server for you. Actually, we're going to take all of the files here just so we know where they are at and put them in here. Then I know where I can find them for future preferences. I'm also going to take the text document for the server file and put in here. Then we're going to take the CFG file here and put it into first, we got to go further into the CSGO folder here, and then there's a folder called CFG. And in here we put this CFG file. Here you go. And go back. CSGO server, okay. Then we're just gonna try to update the SteamCMD, see if there's any updates. And this you will have to do probably if you play once a week or something like that, or whenever you might see that it says in the text here when you try to, or not in here, but when you try to run your server, that it needs updating. And so the way you update it, you gotta sort of do the same steps as before, a little bit different though. So start with login and moose. And we're logged in. Then we have to direct the update files. We want them at the same place as we have our other files, which is the CSGO server file here. So we're just going to go up here, Control C for copy. So we need to direct it into the right path. So we go force _ install _ dir space, Control V, pasting in. And then we're going to say app _ update space 740. And we're not going to put in validate this time, just 740. and we can see it's updated. Then we're just gonna exit again, CMD exit, and now you sort of have your server ready and be able to run it. Let's just see if I can open it up. So I placed my server files in this drive in here, CSGO server, and then I can say, let's just open, just gonna open Counter-Strike. Okay, and in here, now we have it open. You need to open that first, otherwise you can't get into Counter-Strike if you open the server first. So we say, I'm gonna try to open an arms race. So I'm gonna find the start arms race. It's gonna launch. You can see here is all the information you put in the other document. And now it's trying to run this one. So here's your server. This is your server running right here. And let's see if I can find it inside Counter-Strike. Official matchmaking, community server. History, let's see. Okay, I'll show you how to get into this if it doesn't show up on your LAN server later. Let's just see for now if it works. Password was 123. Fingers crossed. Looks like it's working. So the server definitely works. So we're just gonna exit in here. And we're also gonna exit in here, exit. Shutting down the server. Perfect. So now we know that the server we've set up actually also works. So now we need to look into port forwarding and making some rules in the firewall in order to allow people to join you over the internet. This step here is not needed if you're just going to be playing LAN, also locally on your network with your friends. But just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here with the different things, I'm just going to go over a little easy model here. So basically this is your network at home and this is the big internet outside. You get your internet from your service provider, comes to your modem, and then it goes to your router that then distributes your internet out to your different devices. Some places these two are the same unit. I, for instance, have one unit out here that can act as both the modem and a router. Other people might have a modem separate and then the router mounted after that. It doesn't really matter. It's just so you know, it could be one or two things in your living room standing somewhere. This is the computer we pretend to be the server computer that we're going to be running it on in our network. So you need to access your router in order to do port forwarding and allow people into your network. So this is not actually my router, this is just a dummy one online. The way you find it is you go down to search, start, press CMD, command prompt. In here you press in ipconfig, and then under unknown adapter, Ethernet adapter in here, yeah, not the second one, the first one. You can find your default gateway, and this is the IP address for your router. Copy. I'll just copy that one to show you. If I log into my one, it looks like this, but my one is controlled from an app, so it doesn't make much sense to show you here how that works or look like. So instead, I'm going to use this dummy one. So first, you need to log into your router. The username and the password usually is stated on your router or somewhere around. If not, then contact your internet, your ISP, your internet service provider. They might be able to help you get into your router. Once we're in here, then we need to give your PC a fixed IP. I'll show you here. So the way it works is there's a thing called DHCP server. So that means basically your internet provider has a DHCP server. This provides you with an IP address, a public IP address. That is the public IP address that you share across all of your devices on your internet from home. So that means your TV, your phone, your computers, whatever, they all have the same public IP address. But in order for data and stuff to be transmitted around to the correct devices at home, your router also have a DHCP server that provides local IPs for your own devices. So each of your own devices get their own local IP address. They usually start with 192.168. So you have a public IP and you have a local IP. All your devices that goes on a net or something would have a MAC address. That is given by the people who produce the thing, whether it be your iPad or TV or phone or whatever, they all have a MAC address. So this is the MAC address of the PC we're going to make the server on. And you need to find that. And how you're going to find that is we're going to go back in here to the command prompt. I should have done this. This time you're going to write ipconfig space /all. And then we need to find up here again Ethernet adapter. This is your unit and physical address. That's what you're looking for. This here is my computer's MAC address, and this is how you would find yours MAC address. So you take that one, copy paste it into where we're gonna use it now. But because this is a dummy router, it won't work with my stuff. So I'll just use whatever they put in here. So first of all, we need to assign a static IP address to your gamer computer or to the server computer. So that means that every time your computer logs onto your router at home or turns on, it says, "Oh, hi, it's you again, this MAC address here. I recognize you. You get the same IP address as you got last time." And it will be assigned the same IP. And therefore your router knows not to assign this IP address to any other devices you might have on your network. The way we're going to make sure that your computer gets a static IP, we go into your LAN local area network settings on your router. Could be called something else. Each router look differently. But in here, we're going to look for something called the DHCP server. So here's the DHCP server. This one is the one that controls all the IP addresses on your own local network. So here you can see the pool, IP pool starting address. And that's sort of the range of addresses that you have available in your network. And one of those addresses we want reserved for our PC here. So this is the MAC address that goes in here. And we found it before under physical address. We'll copy paste that in and set it in here. But I can just this one allows me to just pop it in, and this already knows the MAC address of the computer on my network. Otherwise you have to type it in yourself. And then an IP address that we wanted to get every time. This one suggests an IP address, and we're just going to go with that one. I don't mind whichever it's called, so we're just going to assign this one. So now every time this computer signs onto the network, it's going to be given this IP address on your local network. Once we've done that, given your computer a static IP, we need to move on. Some port forwarding. The way we do that is we go into WAN, wider area network, which is basically the internet. We find port forwarding, a setting called port forwarding or something else, whatever it's called on your specific router. You might need help from your provider if you don't know where to find it. But we're going to go in here, and as you can see right now, there's no data in the table. So we're going to add a profile, and we're going to need, there's a quick select here where we can choose different things. Even I think for Counter-Strike, TCP and UDP, we're not going to use any of those. We're going to make it manually up here. So we're just going to say service name CSGO server. That's going to be the port forwarding rule And we're going to need to make one for TCP and one for UDP as well. Some servers allow you to just make one with both, so we're just going to do that now. If not, you need to make two rules, one for TCP and one for UDP. When you can make both, just make both. Then you have to put in the external port, and for Counter-Strike the port is 27015, and we're going to put the same number in to internal port 27015. Internal IP address. So this is the IP address that is now assigned fixed to the computer where you have your server running on. And because we've already been given that in the system, I can just type it in here. Otherwise, you'd need to copy paste the numbers from the other page into here. Source IP, we don't need to put that in. Skip that one. Okay, okay, go. And then we have a rule for port forwarding, sending to the port 27015 to this IP address here, which is static to this device, to this computer. So now we need to, that's for people to allow to join the server. In case we want people to, other people to be able to control your server, managing the game in a way, we need to add another profile. I'm gonna add another both. We're gonna call this Archon CSGO server, and this has the port 27005, 27005, and toward the same IP address. Again, skip source IP. So now we've made these rules here. They are sort of rules in the firewall, in your modem and between your modem and router, where you allow port forwarding information to go from outside into your computer here. Now we also need to make a rule that allows the information to get into the machine itself. The way we do that is we go to start, type in firewall, open this one up, and then we need to say advanced settings, inbound rules. In here I've already made two of the rules. See here if I can find them. CSGO port forward TCP 27015, port 27015 UDP. So now I still need to make the two rules for the Archon control. So new rule, it's a port control we're going to make here, TCP or UDP. We're going to start with TCP. We're going to specify the port to 27005. Next, allow the connection. All the rules apply here. Then we're going to call it CSGO Archon server TCP. Let's get it 27005. That's just the name. You can call it whatever you want. Finish. And then I'm going to make another one. Going to be port rule. Next. Now we're going to make it UDP instead. Again, 27005. Next. Connections. Good. I'm going to call this one CSGO Archon server 27005 UDP. Finish. And here they're in the top. Yeah, so now I have all the rules here. Alright, so now we made all the rules that we need in order for this to work. Let's see here. So now we're going to try to run the server, and I'm going to show you how to get your friends into the game. So first of all, you need to open Counter-Strike, the game. Once you're in Counter-Strike, you need to enable your developer console. You do that by going to Settings menu, Game, it's here, Enable Developer Console, it needs to be yes. And then you need to go to Keyboard and Mouse, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and assign a button for from your keyboard to toggle it. Once you've done that, you can toggle your console on and off here. Perfect. And your friends will need to do the same thing if they want to join into your game. They need to enable their developer console so they can access it. Then, once you've done that, you need to open up your server. I'll just start up the arms race. Okay, let's go in and see if the server is running. Play in community server browser. It's not here right now. And now it's there. Oh, that's the one. It's gonna sign into that one. And password 123. Connect. Just gonna join a team here. Right. So anyway, once we're here, then I'm just gonna kick the butt. But keep up. So perfect. So now the server is running. Removed all the butts. Just me in here. And then we need to get your friends in. So you go in here, you type status. And you get here connected to, and this is your IP address. And you can see it's a 192.168 IP address. That means it's a local IP address. Colon 27015. So if we're going to copy paste this one, Control C, right, connect, Control V, then people would be able to copy paste this and give it to your friends, and they can connect to your server, but only if they are on your local network. So how do we get people, your friends, to connect through the internet? Well, we'll copy paste this address here, copy. We're gonna go into, just open up a short, this could be in your chat with your friends or whatever it is. Here, and then we need to change your local IP address into a public IP address. And how do you find your public IP address? Well, the way to do it could be you go on here, say, what's my IP? Ding. Here it is. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Copy. And replace it in here. Not this bit here. This is for the port forwarding. So now this is what your friends need to type. You give this to your friends, and they just need to copy paste it. Control copy. I don't know if I can do it on my own computer to my own server, but I'll try. Anyways, if your friends do this, they'll probably be prompted for the password to the server, and you need to, yeah, I don't think it goes. Anyway, your friends should be able to log in. Exit. Then your friends should be connected to your game, and you can all play happily ever after. Okay, so I'm just gonna start up. I just started up another server, so I can get back in and show you some stuff. So I just want to show you how you can change the settings in your server once you're in there. So this is the competitive bet, start competitive bet I opened up now instead of the arms race. So the first thing you need to do is to go into your console. You need to type archon underscore password and then type in the password you've chosen in the document. So now you can control stuff in here, and then you can basically any thing you can do in the other things you can do here. So if you just write but underscore kick, this would normally work on normal server, but it doesn't work here because you need to add archon space in front of it. And now all the butts are kicked, and we're good to go. Another thing you could do could be archon. Let's just see here. Change level. We'll just take this one. And we're going to see D underscore short dust. And before I type it in, I need to put archon space in front of it. And now we're changing the map. So you could do anything, MP restart the round or whatever. That is basically how it works. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. I hope it helps and you have a lot of good times out of this. So have a nice day. Bye.